Bernd has discussed now this idea of function as a service, the idea of being able to have a stateless service that you can just call at any time. So our chief technologist of the car company has joined me up on stage. Now, as you saw earlier, when we put in the order for the car, because they're handmade, they take a very long time. So our delivery date was going to be on the 24th of December. Now, how can we keep the customer interested? What can we do? Could we send him, that's Christmas, could we send him chocolate Santa Clauses?
Well, we could probably, but maybe we could do something more different and more exciting for the customer.
More exciting than a chocolate Santa Claus?
Yeah.
What?
What about sending some updates about the production progress? So, for example, if the car gets sprayed, we send them an update and photos.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a function as a service that will take a photograph from the production line and send it to the customer and via Twitter. So what we're going to do here, we're going to simulate the production line and we're going to simulate the painting of the car, okay? This is a first at TechEd, okay? Are we ready? Okay, better point it in the right direction. Okay, so here we have a model of the car, and I am now going to simulate the production line. Whoa. Lovely. Oh my God, I'm high. Anyway, so there. So now, we've now simulated the production line. Remember, I haven't done it very well, but we're going to now create a function to be able to send that to the customer when it happens on the production line. So how difficult is that to create that service?
Well, it's not difficult at all.
Okay.
Of course, we could develop a Java application that regularly polls the APIs of the S4 system and just asks for status changes.
Right.
But let's do something far more elegant and more efficient for that purpose. Let's create a function.
Okay.
For this, we're going to work with SAP Web IDE, and we're going to create a new project now. What I'm going to use is here SAP Cloud Platform Functions, which is available in beta, and we're going to start with a new project that I'm going to type out, TechEd 2018. And of course, for our car, we're going to give the right function name, so that's for our Oasis, the according function, and we would like to have the trigger for Oasis in place as well. Trigger. And as said, we want to react on events. And now we see one of the key differentiators why the integration with SAP Cloud Platform and the Intelligent Enterprise is so powerful. So you can see here from that wizard, I can see all the events of the connected systems, like the S4HANA system, where our production information is inside.
So we've already got pre-programmed hundreds of different events that people can just simply take and build into the function as a service.
Exactly.
Okay.
And let's take the one that is relevant for our case. That's the production order, and once it gets confirmed. We're going to pick that one, and that's all that we need to get started. Pressing finish, then our wizard will create the right folder structure in the workspace, and we can go ahead and look at the generated coding. So that's the default coding that comes with the project, if it's then loading. So that, of course, doesn't say that much, but let me just copy and paste the relevant coding for our case, so you don't need to watch me typing 30 lines of coding. But what is happening here? It's quite nice and efficient coding that does the relevant job. So we call a microservice that does the Twitter feed. We run the function, and it gets the parameters of the event and the relevant context information. And there's not that much magic happening. We have a standard text that we're going to generate with a couple of variables inside. So you see here, one of the variables is, of course, the customer name, and that we get those customer details from the event data. And with this relevant data, then of course we can put together the right message, and you see we get some response codes that we handle accordingly as well. So that's all that we need to do. Now saving the project and right-clicking and deploying the project from the Web IDE into SAP Cloud Platform. It will take a couple of seconds to run the deployment, and then we have the function in place in order to do the job.
So in very few seconds, we've actually created a 30-line function which is going to take an event trigger from the S4. It's then going to take the photograph we've just taken and tweet that to the customer.
Exactly, and you see the project is already deployed, so whenever you now trigger this function, the according coding will be executed and the customer is staying engaged with his car.
Great. Still think a chocolate Santa Claus is easier. But anyway, so let's have a look at that in real life. So here on my screen now, you can actually see the S4 screen, which is the production management screen. And we can see here that at the moment, the car is in body painting. And at the moment now, it's been the spray unit, which is active. And you can see down here that the active, it's going to be done. Now, what I'm going to do now is we're going to fade in my Twitter feed on the right. So now we're actually going to use the function that Jana's just created. Can we bring up the Twitter feed, please? There it is. Oops, pussycat. OK, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to complete here on this screen, I'm going to complete this part of the production, and you'll see then the code will automatically be generated. I'm going to complete the process, and you'll see then here coming up on my Twitter feed right now will be then the response. There it is. It's just arrived. It sent you a message, and here I can see the picture that we've just taken plus the text we've done. So